In this video, what we're gonna discuss is how to track your goals daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. And we wanna use an acronym called S.M.A.R.T. Specific is for S. Measurable is for M. Achievable is for A. On to R. Relevant. And timely is for T. This acronym is going to allow you to stay engaged, stay locked in, and to not let the year go by wondering what happened to your goals. When I graduated college, I got a job at Kraft Nabisco as a sales rep, a distribution sales rep in their sales force in North New Jersey. And initially my job was to track and work through sales reps' vacations before I got my own territory. So I would have to go and learn the territory, and territory meaning the supermarkets that this individual sales rep controlled, because whatever supermarket at the time, it was in New Jersey, ShopRite, Pathmark, Stop and Shop, A&P, and the little mom and pop shops. And so you would get assigned a territory, and in that territory you'd have multiple supermarkets. However many were in your territory, 17, 14, 25, depending on how many you had, and you had to visit those stores and keep up flow. Well, once I got good at becoming someone who covered vacations, I got my own territory, and I ended up in a very aggressive area. Aggressive meaning the stores did a lot of volume. So I was, young, hungry, ambitious. I had sales goals. And so in order, every single month they would roll out a new sales initiative that you needed to hit, a new sales goal you needed to hit. And so I started to learn how to track my goals. I started to learn how to pace the month. At the end of the month, if I hit my goals, I got a bonus. So you better believe I learned how to pace and track my goals. So for us, as we are trying to literally eclipse the thing we said we would do, and sometimes you don't eclipse it, sometimes you get near it. But what we don't want to do is set a goal here and make it here. I want to be here, here, or here. And if I make it here, it's my job to reset that goal. So understanding that as I was pacing and tracking the month, it started as soon as I got the number I needed to hit. So if I needed to hit $130,000 in sales for the month for that specific territory, that's them telling me, my manager's telling me, your territory can handle this and we need you to hit that. Well, I saw it as a challenge every single month, but I knew that if I wasn't at 25% by the end of week one, I was behind, because it's only 4 weeks in a month, 25, 25, 25, 25. But I never ran it at 25. I'd run it at 32, 35, 29, because I knew by the end of week two, I wanted to be at 60. The only real way for me to stay engaged and track my goals and surpass my goals was to be ahead of them. I couldn't be tracking behind them. So that just meant the way I built relationships in the stores, the way they ran sales, the way I would order product into the stores, and I was in the cookie and cracker section of the store dealing with Nabisco cookies and dealing with my competition. So every once in a while, we would have the dominant sale. Sometimes it'd be Pepsi, sometimes it'd be Coca-Cola, sometimes it'd be Keebler, sometimes it'd be Lay's. And so sometimes we ran dominant sales at the same time, like Super Bowl or 4th of July or some of these bigger holidays, these holiday weekends, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Christmas, we had our own special deal. And so everyone is competing for store space. Everyone's competing for shelf space. Everyone's competing for presentation space. How do I track my goals? How do I pace my goals? How do I eclipse my goals? I compete harder for the store space. I build better relationships with the grocery managers. I sell more into the stores based on what I can pump out of the stores. I service the stores more when the shelves are low so that they know I'm their guy, and that means I can send more into the store. If you sent too much in the store, here's the catch, they could ship it back, because I can't send in 5 pallets and say, hey, they're like, what is all this? And so if I sent in 5 pallets, let's just say, that better be a really big sale, like Chips Ahoy, 99 cents or something like, because they need it. You don't want to be the store where the clients come in and you don't have the product. So they needed what they needed. And if the sale was aggressive, they needed more. And so if I brought in 5 pallets though, I needed displays to move the stuff out the back so they don't get caught with old product. So there's a little bit of some nuance here. And this is the way you track your sales goals. And this is the way you track your team sales. And this is the way you track your company goals. And this is the way you track how you're going to build your business and how you're going to lose weight and how you're going. Every single thing you're planning for 2024, you are pacing and tracking. And I wanted to give you that light as we start getting into some of these SMART goals where I can explain to you exactly what they all mean and how they're going to apply to the way you want to pace the year, hit your goals, and eclipse your goals. So remember the acronym SMART. The first one we're going to start with is S. That's for specific. And so that a lot of these feel like they run together, but they are very different. Let's talk about specific. So in my business, I'm in the insurance business. We do sales. What's your specific goal for clients? So how many clients do you want to help a year? Specific. So let's just say 400, okay? Now, how do I help those clients, right? When I think of specific, the only way for me to help 400 clients is to know how. So final expense, term, index universal life, annuity. I want to help 400 clients specifically in these areas. Make sense? Then you want to know as you're pacing the year 400, you want to know, all right, what's 400 divided by 12? Because it's 12 months. And we're right around 33, we'll say 34 clients a month. That's extremely specific. So now as I'm setting goals, I know I got to be in here. And I'll know if I hit it or not because this is very black and white. And the more black and white I can get, the more yes or no, the less gray, the less maybe, the less I hope, the easier chance I got. Let's go a step further. 34 clients a month is how many clients now per week. So 34, and we'll divide it by 4 just for illustration purposes. We'll say 9, just to round up, 9 clients a week. So we know now, we know what success, we really, really know what success looks like. And so what I'm trying to do every single month is not hit 9 clients a week and not hit 34 clients a month. Because I know, even though that's my goal, to make my life easier by month 11 and 12, I want to try to outpace this throughout the course of the year. No different than what I did with Nabisco, I want to do that here. And so that's how I became successful in sales and building teams. Now let's discuss measurable. Measurable sometimes could feel a lot like specific. It's okay, but we still need to be measurable. So measurable, let's just say, I want my agency to help $10 million worth of premium for the year. Okay, so now in order for me to do that, that's not as simple as me running an independent solopreneur business where I'm doing 34 clients a month. I can't just go, well, 10 million a year is 833 clients, $833,000 a month in premium now. So that's a whole different beast. And now I've got to, and your goals can be whatever you want them to be, but let's just do it. 10 million for the year in annualized premium. That's a group effort. That's not a one-man band. That's a company now. So we're gonna break that down. 10 divided by 12, no difference. 833,000 a month. Now, it's measurable because we know what the numbers are, but now I gotta do a lot more things to get people in place. I gotta do a lot more things to get systems in place and put people in position and make sure that not only is it measurable to me, that it's measurable to everybody, and so that everybody is tracking. And so what I'll do is I'll do a whole entire landscape across the company. I'll go to every individual leader and say, what's your goal for the year? And we'll go through it. I'll go, why is that your goal? How do you think you can accomplish that? So I'm doing basically a SMART version of their individual goals so I can make sure that this is measurable and it's actually real, that it's not pie in the sky. I don't want to just put something out there because it sounds cool. And we're not doing that with our goals. You're not going to do that with your goals. On this channel, we're not going to do that. I don't want to waste your time. I want you to get the best out of the value that we want to provide. I have to now go through each and every individual leader and sometimes even the sub leaders to make sure that the leader's not too pie in the sky. So that then I can come back and I can cast a vision for the team and let them know what's measurable for all of us. Now, is it specific? Of course. Is it measurable? Yes. Now it's measurable because we had to take steps to measure it. It's like ingredients when you're dealing with flour or sugar or how many eggs you need. It's not just the fact that you need eggs. It's if you put in 5 eggs and the ingredient and it called for 3, you got yourself a little bit of a problem. So you want to make sure that you are tracking every single thing that's possibly measurable. You know, in some businesses, this is a CRM set up the correct way. Does everything track to business? Is everyone communicating well? Is everyone creating the right level of expectation? Have we set up processes enough? Do we have enough leads coming in? See all these things that you can start to monitor to make sure that you absolutely hit your goal? Measured. And now we're on to achievable. That's the A in SMART goals. Achievable is knowing that the zip code that you're in is actually the zip code where you're going. And so you don't want to be looking to be way out of the bullseye. When we think about this circle of getting into, I want to be dialed in. I don't want to be all the way out here when I'm trying to be in here. So when I say achievable, is it achievable? Can you do it? I only got 12 months. I don't have 10 years. If we're talking about 2024. And in 2024, your goals need to be achievable. Do you actually have the skill sets to do what you're trying to do? So if you want to read 24 books this year, you want to read 2 books a month, that's achievable. You can read 2 books a month. But if you want to read 200 books this year and you've never read more than 12, unless you don't have a job or unless you don't have a purpose in life, you're going to, it's not that achievable. You're all the way out here. Slow down, player. All I'm trying to do is get you in here, dialed in. If you can stay dialed in, then we have a chance for you to achieve your goals. So I want to run a 5K. Well, I never ran a 5K. That's a good goal. I want to run a 26-mile marathon. Now I've seen people do it. And so you can adjust. But if you want to run a 26-mile marathon or a half marathon, you have to ramp up the way you train. You have to ramp up the way you train. You have to make it achievable. Because right now, if Mark Mead's saying he wants to run a 26-mile marathon, you should laugh. Not because I want you to laugh at me, not because it's impossible, but I'm doing nothing that speaks to that. I'm doing nothing today. I'm all the way out here with that goal. It doesn't mean I can't dial it into here, but I want to help you hit your goals, not pipe dream. And so I'm 43. The days of me dunking from the foul line like Michael Jordan with my tie hanging out are probably over. So that shouldn't be a goal for me in 2024. It's not achievable. If I want to grow on what I need to learn about AI in 2024, that's highly achievable. Now, like measurable and specific, I now need to go back and track time and track location and track how I'm going to do that, but it's achievable. So stick with me here as we're going through this because I want to make sure we're not too pie in the sky. I want to make sure we're not like if I've already sold a certain amount for the year in 2023 and I come back and I go, it's achievable. Well, it's the same thing. If I want to do the same thing I did in 2023 and 2022 in 2024, how am I growing? Now I'm too dialed in. I don't want to be so dialed in because I know I can do it. I want to reach. I want achievable, but I don't want it to be unrealistic. Does that make sense? Now we're on to relevant. That's the R in SMART. Relevant is extremely important. A lot of times we make goals that are relevant because we don't want to make goals that are irrelevant. It's counterproductive to make irrelevant goals. And so relevancy is going to be around the passions that you have, the things that line up with your mission, your vision, your values, the things that make your heart tick. Are the goals that you're making relevant to you? Are they relevant to your purpose? Are they relevant to your mission? Are they relevant to your company's purpose? Are they relevant to the company you work for? Are they relevant to your business? Are they relevant? Because at the end of the day, what we don't want to do is set goals that don't align with anything that anyone's doing. You're out there on an island setting your own goals and they're not relevant. You have goals for your family that you need to be relevant to your family. If you have a boy and a girl, you need to make goals that are relevant to a boy and a girl. If you have a special needs child, you need to make goals that are relevant to that special needs child. If you have a spouse, you need to make goals that are relevant to your family hierarchy, however you have it. And so everything needs to be relevant to where you are, where you're going. You don't want to position yourself to create goals that are not worthwhile. Because the thing that's going to drive you when it's all said and done is, does this align with who I am and where I'm going? And so the more that it is aligned, the faster, the more driven, the more you pick yourself up off the mat when you have bad days. All this stuff happens. And in the 365-day year, folks, we're going to have some bad days. We're going to have some bad weeks. So we need to make sure that we're passionate and on fire for goals that are relevant to where we're going. Continuing on with the acronym SMART, we are now onto the letter T, which is timely. And so timely jumps out and makes itself sort of the most obvious, but the reality is people butcher this all the time. And what I'd like for you to do is to position yourself to not butcher it. Start putting end dates on tasks. Start putting end dates on projects. Start putting end dates on your goals. Otherwise they float. Sometimes they get buried. They don't, you lose them. You lose them in your desk, and your pile in your desk, and a pile in your phone. Timely. How long does it take to complete a specific task? I want to lose 3 pounds a month. Okay. Every 30 days, did you lose 3 pounds and have that accumulate to be 36 pounds at the end of the year? Because I could lose 3 pounds in January, gain 6 pounds in the first week of February, and lose 3 more pounds by the end of February. And I'm lying to myself if I think that I lost 3 pounds a month. Don't do that. Position yourself. 30-day time blocks. You want to measure yourself quarterly. Quarterly is a great way to measure yearly goals. But quarterly is 90 days of time. Anytime that you're in a position and you're trying to do something for your business, you want to communicate something to an employee, you need to let them know what time you need it by. If you're an employee, you want to communicate something to your manager, you want to communicate something to the owner, you need to let them know what time you'll get it in by. Do everything in time. This way you're not floating with projects wide open all the time. If you want to read a book, I want it done by X date. Everything that you're doing needs to be done with time. If not, you leave an open-ended period which has no end. And this is a terrible way to hit your goals. When you put a timestamp on it, you have now let the whole world know. You set off a trigger in your mind that's saying, I'm serious about this. I can't give my spouse a time frame on something that I said I was going to do and just come with my hat in my hand. Sometimes I need to readjust the time. Perfectly fine. Communicate it. But at the end of the day, we're trying to hit and eclipse goals for 2024, and we want to do it the smart way. And timely is how we're going to make sure that we get it done within time. Guys, it means the world to me that you took the time to watch this. It means the world to me that you will comment. What'd you like? What didn't you like? Let's have a conversation. Let us know how we can do better, how we can serve you better. That's our goal. We want to bring as much value to you as humanly possible. We're trying to help the business community grow. Like and subscribe. Follow us on all social platforms. The idea is that we continue to provide you value and we continue to serve the people.